Today's video is going to be focused on Dynamics 365 for sales. We're starting in the main Sales Hub app here. And what I want to do is go on a bit of a tour and show you some of the settings that you may or may not know that you can configure from this app. The first thing we're going to do is change the area of the app. So come down to where it says Sales, and we're going to change that to App Settings. As you can see, Kona the cat is very excited about this. It's defaulting to show me my general settings overview, which is going to show Copilot, Sales Accelerator, lead scoring, all kinds of cool things. I can expand Show All Settings here, and it's going to show me all the settings that I can configure within this app, which is really cool. So let's start with Copilot. Enable Copilot for all sales apps. You can control this. By default, it's on. You can turn it on or off and manage the specific apps. So if I don't want my Copilot to show in specific apps, but I do want it to show in others, this is where I can control that. Then we can do a bit more of a deep dive into Copilot for Sales with opportunities and leads. There are several fields here that are going to be shown in the summaries, which you can see on the right-hand side is an example of a summary. These are out of the box. They might not necessarily be the best fields and columns that you want Copilot to return values for. So all you have to do is uncheck the ones that don't make sense and click Add Fields to add custom fields that make more sense for your organization and what you want. You can do the same with leads here as well. And then let's move on to the lead and opportunity area. This is really cool. So lead qualification by default is going to auto create a new contact, a new account, and a new opportunity. That is standard operating procedure for Microsoft CRM as long as I have known it. But you do have the right here to overwrite that. So click no, and it will not do that during lead qualification. But the coolest one, I started using Dynamics while I used Microsoft CRM 4.0, and back in those days, one of the most asked questions from my sales reps and my sales managers were, can I customize the opportunity close form? I don't care about what's here. I want to capture other things when my reps are closing an opportunity. Well, now you can. Simply toggle custom fields on closing form to yes, and boom. Back in Power Apps, you can configure what shows up on that form, which is a very highly asked for feature and something that's very simple to turn on and then configure within Power Apps. As we keep moving down, we've got productivity tools. So there's a list of a few here. Enhanced email for timeline, but by default this is turned off, but you can turn it on. Business card scan, if you're not using that, you can turn that off. By default it is turned on, which you've probably noticed on your leads and contacts. Convert to PDF, this is a pretty cool one. If you want the ability to simply convert data into non-editable PDFs, all you have to do is click yes, and then select which tables you want. Very cool, right? Enable address suggestions. I have solved this in the past with JavaScript or some really handy PCF tools at the PCF gallery. But now I can just turn this on here, which is pretty awesome. It will give me an address suggestion as my user is entering the data. That's on the account, the contact, and the lead form. Chat and collaboration. So this we've talked about in prior articles and prior videos here, but this is your ability to turn on and off and configure different aspects of your team's integration, both the basic and the enhanced collaboration as they used to be called. Teams meetings, this is a really handy one if you're using Teams meetings in conjunction with your Dynamics 365 system. When a meeting is connected to Dynamics, automatically record your details in Teams when the meeting starts. This is really cool because then you get things like transcription and conversation analysis, which is really cool, and the conversational sentiment analysis. So you'll be able to see all of the great things about Teams meetings data that Copilot's going to power as well. Then we move down, we have LinkedIn integration details, we've got org chart, sales usage reports, Teams calls, opportunity pipelines, and SMS providers. So a ton of things that you can turn on, turn off, configure to a slight amount of depth within the Sales Hub. This is not at your Power Platform Admin Center. This is not in the Maker Portal. Again, we're in the out-of-the-box Sales Hub in that area. And take a look at all the other cool features. I'm just highlighting the ones that are the general features here at the top. We've got data features, sales administration, product catalog, always a fun thing to set up, right? And performance management, so if you're using forecasting or old school goals. So have fun playing around with all these awesome features directly in the Sales Hub for Dynamics 365 for Sales.